Okay, so tell me a little bit about United Spinal Association. How did it come about?
Oh, well, United Spinal, we are actually, I believe it was, let me see, 2 years ago. We've been active for over 75 years. And let me see here. I wanted to pull up. There we go. I work with the advocacy program for United Spinal. And I guess I'll start with explaining a little bit of what I do. I work with my colleague Steve Lieberman, who is director of advocacy and policy, and my job title is grassroots advocacy manager. So, what I do is I manage our registered grassroots advocates that are all over the United States, and that's over 1,900 registered advocates, and we're continuing to grow and add advocates. We have advocates in every single state. So our goal is to have advocates in every single congressional district, which is there's 435. And all we have left is 7 districts where we have to find advocates. So it's been something that started back in July of 2020, this initiative for Grassroots Advocacy Network. So I've been with the organization for 3 years now. And along with managing our advocates, we have a lot of different programming with the advocacy program. We have 5 working groups where advocates can become involved in any or all of them. They're outdoor access, emergency preparedness, accessible parking, accessible transportation, and care support. So we are producing resources from those working groups for the disability community based on different topics. The one I'm working for on this month is for accessible camping, and it's coming from the experiences from some of our outdoor access working group members. So we have our working groups. We hold a monthly advocacy live, which is just a Zoom open forum. Advocates from all over the US join in, and we usually get between 50 and 60 advocates a month. And it's just an opportunity for them to collaborate and talk about issues they're working on, questions they have, because sometimes an advocate all the way in California may be working on some initiative or issue that somebody in Florida is working on. So our goal is to connect these advocates and offer them a platform to work with one another. I also host a Meet an Advocate live stream once a month, and that is where I bring in an advocate. I've brought in advocates from all over the US. I've been doing it since I started. And it's just a way to highlight the work that advocates are doing. And it also is neat because it's live. So people can tune in, watch live, ask questions live, and we can actually answer their questions live. And it's fun to get comments and just kind of, you know, have our listeners be interactive with while we're doing the live stream. So our whole goal is to offer various ways to become involved, whether you're new and you just want to join an advocacy live and sit there and listen and see how everything goes. We have that all the way to our annual event, Roll on Capitol Hill, that we had back in June. It's where we actually fly advocates into Washington, D.C. We flew about 100 advocates in this past June, and they meet with congressional offices to discuss issues and policies where we want more change. And with that many advocates, we had about 160 congressional office visits, which is great. So the more office visits we have, the more the word gets out there. And that's really our whole goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so tell me a little bit about some of the services that you do at United Spinal.
The services,
Yeah,
well,
that you
we
provide. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
we offer, I mean, we have an amazing resource center that, if there's ever questions, any type of questions. Our organization is not just for spinal cord injury or disorder. It is also it's for wheelchair users in general. And that's something we really want people to know, because a lot of these issues and policies affect many different individuals with different disabilities. So we want them to know that, United Spinal is here to offer help and resources, whether it's, the resource, a lot of the questions and issues that come in go along the line of home health caregiving, or needing to find aids, or it's just our resource center does the best they can do to connect people with specific resources to help solve their issues. I'm going to read to you kind of the about us. It kind of sums it up. It says, United Spinal Association represents our nation's 5.5 million wheelchair users. We proudly trace our roots to the paralyzed World War II vets who came home to an inaccessible nation and made it their new mission to create a fully inclusive society. We honor them by using today's tools to directly provide top-notch service and resources to our members, chapters, and the broader disability community. So like I said, we're really here to empower and advocate for people with spinal cord injuries and disorders, and all wheelchair users to achieve their highest quality of life. So it's a variety of things that, we can offer help with, whether it's an advocate wants to come and start writing up a bill or a letter to their member of Congress about a specific issue. We can offer help with that. So it's a wide range of resources.
Mm-hmm. My next question is, who are like the main stakeholders that United Spinal works with? Like, in other words, who are the key players involved?
Well, the advocates, our advocacy network is very important, because our advocates are the ones who raise awareness and make the issues known to their members of Congress. So the advocacy network is extremely important in getting the word out there, because if the members of Congress don't hear about these issues from us, or these policies that we want changed, they're not going to know. They're not going to know. And when you have over 1,900 registered advocates, you can have specific district advocates from districts. So of course, a member of Congress is going to listen if their constituent is raising concern. So these advocates, what really helps is them just sharing their story. We say that's the best way to be an advocate, is to share your personal story, because it really helps the members of Congress relate to why these policies and these issues need to be changed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my next question is, what impact does your organization have on communities as a whole, particularly the disability community?
Can you repeat that again? I'm sorry, it cut out just a little bit.
Yeah, I was asking, what impact does your organization have on communities as a whole, particularly the disability community?
Well, I think it has a great impact, because you know, the disability community is one of the largest minority communities in the US and the world. And, it's like I said, all wheelchair users. So there's such a wide range. And there's, the ADA was passed over 30 years ago, but we still know there's a lot that needs to be worked on, whether it's safe air travel, whether it's, accessible public transportation, accessibility to medical appointments and diagnostic equipment. There's a lot of different aspects that we need to change still. We've made progress since the passing of the ADA, but this legislative advocacy is the type of advocacy that United Spinal does, and it takes time. It takes patience. Sometimes it's baby steps, but with the persistence, things can get changed, and it can be an everlasting change.
Mm-hmm. My last question is, let me see here. My last question is, how do you create an inclusive and welcoming environment for people with disabilities? Because there's still a lot work to be done.
Well, what we try to do is, again, when I was kind of talking about all the various programming for the Advocacy Network, we want to make an environment and these opportunities so um, people with disabilities who want to be an advocate or want to join aren't intimidated. We want to offer various levels how they can get involved. We want to offer resources that help them. And I think it's making a huge impact because at the Roll on Capitol Hill, when we all gathered together for a group photo, it really hit me seeing that many people, that were rolling around Washington, D.C., through the House and Senate buildings, talking with these members of Congress and trying to make change. I think it's a incredible impact. There's been changes that have happened just since I've been working here for 3 years that shows that these steps, these baby steps, and our efforts do work. Policy change can happen. So I think it goes to show for all the work that the advocates put in. It's very time consuming because many of them are doing this on top of working or, their family lives. So, advocacy is hard work. It can be frustrating at times, but can be very rewarding also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.